What is going on, everybody? Back at it again with another YouTube video, and today we're going to be talking Eagles football. The Eagles started training camp this past week. We are now 1 week in. We are like 23 days until the opening game of the season. I'm ready for Eagles football. In all honesty, the Phillies, even though they're making moves right now, and I will talk about that later in my Phillies game recap, the Sixers have been killing me, and the Flyers are the Flyers. They've been good, but they still need to win. But I'm ready for Eagles football. I'm hype. I love the Eagles. But, just teasing us about, John Hightower and Quez Watkins, and then, a couple big runs that, our running backs have, well, I want to see it. And unfortunately, we don't have that this year because we don't have preseason. Which, honestly, it kind of sucks because, as we all know, we have a lot of young talent. Jalen Reagor, John Hightower, Quez Watkins. You have Sean Bradley. You have guys that I would love to see play, that I would love to see work on the field. But before I get into all of that, if you guys could hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and comment down below if you guys are ready for Eagles football. Make sure to go do that right now. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We are almost at 750. Can't thank you guys enough for the continuous support over the last, 7 months that I've been doing YouTube. Also, wanted to show that I did, in fact, go on vacation a couple days ago, and I got this Darius Slay signed replica helmet. I love it. Darius Slay is somebody that I really enjoyed watching in Detroit. Now we get him here. He is going to be our number one cornerback. I also wanted to get into a little bit of that, the cornerback talks, the injuries, just stuff that I thought that I should go over within these 10 minutes that I'm going to be talking about the Eagles. But names that have been said a lot, and I've said them 3 times already in this video. Hightower and Watkins. Hightower has been, and Reagor. From what I've been hearing, those 3 have been showing up. They have been showing off. They have been showing up. And I'm loving that I can hear that. Because as we know, Marquise Goodwin, not playing this season, decided to opt out because of the virus. He will not be playing this season. But we have guys now that need to step up, and it looks like Hightower is going to be one of those guys. Haven't heard much on Greg Ward. I don't know if that's an issue or not, but I heard a little bit about him, basically saying that he will most likely be the slot guy. They also lined Jalen Reagor up at the slot. Jalen Hurts has been in the mix. Sean Bradley has been very physical this training camp. I really wanted to see these rookies. This was a huge draft class with a lot of guys that could potentially make the team later on in their careers, like Sean Bradley, Casey Toohill, Hightower and Watkins. I keep saying it, but that's what happens when you draft speed guys later in these rounds. You're going to hear a lot about them, especially if they're making good plays. Hightower was lined up against Slay just the other day, and he actually beat him. He had a very beautiful route, little jab step, got Slay leaning the other way, and he cut right across the middle of the field. That is what I like to see. He's a speed guy. We need his speed. Now, I would love to see him fly down the field, and he has done that. I just haven't seen video of it, but he has done that with Carson Wentz throwing pretty good balls to him. Also, the cornerbacks. Nickel Roby-Coleman could have gotten a pick 6. Avonte Maddox, Cravon LeBlanc, Darius Slay. These guys are getting interceptions on Wentz and Hurts. I have heard some things about Wentz, mainly about his weight because he, just as we know, became a dad. He's like 250 pounds heading into training camp. That is 20 pounds heavier than what he was last year heading into camp. I don't know really what that means. Obviously, he could lose a little bit of speed, but maybe it's better for him. As we know, Carson, injuries, they go hand in hand. That's his one flaw in his game, is his ability to stay on the field. And that is a huge flaw. But maybe with the extra weight, maybe with the extra mass, Hopefully he can turn into like a Ben Roethlisberger type of, not really Ben Roethlisberger big, but like just strong, being able to hold himself onto the field. And I know Clowney's hit, that's knocking anybody out of a playoff game. But it's the other things that I worry about, that I need him to stay on the field. Also the fumbles. Maybe he put on muscle and weight, but maybe he put on muscle. So maybe he won't fumble as much. Maybe he'll make smarter passes. But from what I've been hearing, Carson has been turning the ball over a little bit more than I would like. I have seen a lot of tweets saying that, oh, Carson turned the ball over here, Carson turned the ball over there. He's got to clean that up. And I know it's training camp, and I know he doesn't have his guys. We all thought Goodwin was going to start this season. He's obviously not. Deshaun Jackson, but him and Deshaun Jackson, from what I've been hearing, have been a very good duo together. As we saw in week 1, they had 2 touchdowns and 150-plus yards together. And other than that, there was nothing else to look at because he only played like 2 snaps after that game. Now, on to the end. Actually, before I get to that, another guy that I would like to talk about, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. As we saw last year. And I keep saying we because we're all Eagles fans here. As we saw last year, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside was not good. I can't even sugarcoat that he was decent because he wasn't. He was awful. He was slow. He couldn't run routes. But from what I've been reading, according to him, his training camp from last year to this year was night and day. He says he feels a lot better coming into this year. He knows what he's expected for himself, what he wants to do. He's worked on his route running. He's worked on his speed. His physical wellness has gotten up because, rumors came out later on in the offseason that he was playing on like a knee injury or an ankle injury or leg injury, something like that, or a back injury, basically the entire season. And we had no idea. If J.J. Arcega-Whiteside can actually produce and actually become a good player, a good receiver, well, that's huge. He's a big guy. He's like 6'5", 6'4". In college, he was that jump ball guy. He was that red zone guy where you throw it up to him and he will come down and get it. And he had some of those opportunities last year. Against the Detroit Lions is the one that I can truly remember, not only because I was there, but because it was just such a significant play in the game. He dropped a game-tying or game-winning touchdown in the end zone and it hit him right in the hands. He didn't even have to jump for it. It hit him in the hands. It was a perfectly thrown ball by Wentz. We need him to step up, along with all the receivers and the running backs and stuff like that. But if we can get him to where we would like him to be, I can't remember where we drafted him as, but if we can add him to the offense, give him some plays, give him some routes, that would be huge. Now the injury bug is always around in Philadelphia. They're like the lantern flies in Philly. They're everywhere. It's always there. Zach Ertz did not participate today. Jason Peters did not participate today. Jalen Reagor was one of 3 Eagles that was out with illness. Javon Hargrave, Miles Sanders, and Derek Barnett are week to week. Now, what does that mean? To me, I'm not going to really worry about it. They did say that they were most likely going to play week 1. Sanders is definitely going to play week 1. Hargrave and Barnett are week to week with most likely going to play week 1. Am I worried about the injuries? No. Does it set this team back a little bit? Maybe. Just because, the chemistry isn't all there, and now you're losing a guy like Hargrave, who is supposed to be that number 2 defensive tackle alongside Fletcher Cox. But he is a professional. He'll get it. He's still there. He'll still be in walkthroughs and stuff like that. But, they did have their first scrimmage today. Didn't hear much about it. Didn't see any videos on it, really. I saw, a couple things from Hightower, Jackson, Malik Jackson, stuff like that, but nothing really too serious to, put into the video because I didn't really see much. But with that being said, the Eagles start in 23 days. Cannot wait. They obviously go up against the Washington football team. Week 1 in Washington. Alex Smith could start for them. He could not. Dwayne Haskins could. I don't know what's going on over there. They're a mess. But 23 days until Eagles football. I cannot wait. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I am out. Peace.